Big Cat Bryant, 6'5", 257 pounds. Big Cat Bryant. Here's the thing. He was undrafted. He's the undrafted rookie free agent for the Dallas Cowboys. And why in the world is Big Cat undrafted? Well, let me talk about this. He played 4 years at Auburn, right? And of course, we're going to talk about the pandemic year, what have you. It granted a lot of players one more year of eligibility. However, Big Cat, although he graduated from Auburn, he had 10 sacks there, 3 interceptions, believe it or not, off the edge. So the athleticism is there. And of course, when you look at it, he was playing right along the sides of Big Derrick Brown. I think he got drafted by the Carolina Panthers. That was a big boy. And Auburn defense was really, really nasty during that time frame. Now, what happened to Big Cat? Here's the thing. Big Cat, his numbers never were gaudy, right? And he was always undersized. He was 6'5", 245 at the time. Some would say his playing weight was 240. What happened is he had one more year of eligibility. So since he graduated from Auburn and he went off to the UCF, to that program, and racked up 6 sacks and 13 tackles for loss. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. That's good numbers at 1 year. And think of it like this. A shark can only grow the size of his tank. Let me repeat. The shark can only grow the size of his tank. So if you take a baby shark, you put him in a smaller tank, he's going to grow to fit that environment. Now, if you put him in a bigger or larger tank, he will grow to fit that environment. Sometimes when you place in a bigger situation, your numbers get skewed. Your numbers get washed away because it could be a complete situation, whereas people now are looking at the program you are at and saying, okay, you didn't make any noise at this big program in Auburn, but now you're making a lot of noise down there at UCF. So here's the thing, Cowboy Nation, it could be a good move and it could be a bad move. This craziest thing of it all, if he selected UCF, his first year, second year, third year, and fourth year of college, he would have probably been drafted. Sometimes you look at this opportunity and say, hey, I'm trying to meet up to a number that scouts tend to draft at. He went from 245 to 254 or 257-ish. And then they said, okay, it's time for you to run that 40 time, and you run a 4.89. Shoot, scouts are going to look at that and say, man, yeah, you got speed on the field. That would not translate on the next level, and a lot of teams passed up on him. And granted, these are millions and millions of dollars, and of course, jobs on the line of where you're going to get drafted at. So a lot of scouts shy away from horrible numbers. Now, granted, if he'd have stayed at 245 and ran his 40 time, maybe if he get down to a lower 4.5, maybe he's drafted on day 3. And think of it. The way this crazy draft is, you had so many people in the pool anyway that, man, you're only looking at measurables and numbers, right? Most teams do that. Now he got a chance and opportunity to showcase his name and let everybody know, hey, everybody made a mistake on passing up on me. And he got to bring a lot to the table. Can he start for the Dallas Cowboys? I don't think so. But can he make his name be heard out there? Yes, he got an opportunity to do such. And one can say this, I could be 1,000,000% wrong. He could be the starter if he get out there and make something happen. But granted, when you look at his tape, he got a lot to work on. Pad levels got to keep it lower. He got to work on shoulder dip move, disengagement. And on top of that, he must figure out a way to transition from a pass rush to the run defense. I see him get swallowed out of big plays. I see when the opposition get their hands inside, there's no disengagement moves. So he's going to have someone to really work with him. My number one thing would be, don't try to conquer the entire world. Work on one move at a time. Work on disengagement. Work on explosiveness, being right at the point of contact. Work on your burst, your get off. Work on one thing. Because sometimes when you get to this level, you say, hey, I need to do this, I need to do that. No one is perfect, and it will not happen overnight. So you got to look into this program and say, hey, this is the developmental tool for me, and try to hang around the greats. Work on disengagement, work on your club move, keep your pad levels low. In Auburn, they played them up, they played them hand in the dirt. So now you got to figure out what moves work best for you. And I do know that he's more so of a 3-4 outside linebacker, but this particular defense is not a 3-4 defense. So you're going to be an edge guy, right? And you're going to have to say, hey, these are the things that I can do best. And you got to showcase that ability. 16 sacks in your collegiate career, yeah, that's cool. Some people got that done in one season, right? So you got to bring a lot to the table. You got to be able to turn heads when you get to this next level. And the only way you do that is with a strong determination, with your mindset focus in on your task. Don't try to gain too much weight, and don't try to lose too much weight now. Work on your craft and continue to grind and get better at time. Now, on the high end, I've seen scouts compared him to a Jadeveon Clowney, a Yannick Ngakoue. Scout report said that he can be at that high end. But on the low end, you can just be Marcavius Bryant, right? Just a no-name guy that was undrafted. You got to make your name so that now others can look at your name and say, hey, he can be the next big cat, right? Now, shout out to him, and I hope all is well, and I hope that he can get a chance to showcase his talent and his skill set. But the reality of it, everybody else is looking for that opportunity as well. So you're going to have to really show up and show out, and that's the bottom line, Cowboy Nation. So I'm really high on Big Cat. I hope that he can figure it out and get to this next level, stay focused, stay lasered in, and make the outcome that's best for him, for the Dallas Cowboys in this 2022 season. And the off season, baby, is always long, and the opportunity will be knocking on the door. Just be prepared. Like I said about the last guy, Terry Wilson, you got to be prepared. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. So Big Cat, let's go. Let's get it. I'm rooting for the underdog. I hope he make this team. I hope he figure out a way. Special team is always welcome, right? We always need a special team guy. And being 6'5" at 254-ish won't be bad at all. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. DC for life. Salute.